Welcome to tooltutorial.com. Layers are most important thing in Photoshop working. Actually, layers make Photoshop different from many photo editing software. Now, how can we understand layers? You can understand it by a sandwich. Actually, like a sandwich is made with layers, and you can change or modify its each layer like bread or any material. Adding more cheese in between layer. Oh, it's getting more yummy. Okay, come back to Photoshop. So like this only you can make your projects in layers and can change each layer individually anytime. Let's see working of Photoshop layers. You can activate layer panel from window, then select layers. Shortcut key for layer panel is F7. Layer panel contains all options for controlling layers with ease. Firstly, let us see how to make a new layer. You can click on new layer icon, present in bottom of layer panel. Shortcut for new layer, Ctrl plus Shift plus N. Background layer. When you open a new document, at that time background layer will be locked and you cannot make changes or create anything on it. So if you want to unlock background layer, just double click on it and it will be unlocked. You can see a pop-up window to make background layer a new layer, and you can change its name through that window only. You can also just double-click on layer to rename layer. Arranging layers. Your objects in project will appear according to the position of your layers. Object on upper layer will be on top of its bottom layer's objects. To bring a layer up or down, just hold it and drag it upward or downward, and place it at desired position. Layer eye. It is an important switch in layer panel. You can see it in front of every layer. By this you can make your layer visible or invisible. Just click on eye to make visible or invisible the layer. This eye icon will also appear on effects applied to layer, so that by this you can make desired effect invisible. Transparent layer. A new layer will be always transparent, and you start with your creation on it. If you have no background layer and you make a new layer, then work area will look like this. This box texture means transparent. It will be used to make PNG images. Usually PNG images have transparent background. Delete layer. If you want to delete a layer, just select that layer, click on delete button or drag your layer on delete icon. Duplicate layer. Select a layer, right click and select duplicate layer. Or just drag the layer on new layer icon in layer panel. One more option is select layer and press Alt key plus any arrow key. Create layer group. In complex projects you have to define groups, as it make easy to arrange number of layers. To make a new group, just select your desired layers and click on create a new group button or drag selected layers on that icon. Link layers. It is like tying a rope between two layers. Linked layer will move with each other. To link layers, just select layers which you want to link, and click on link layer icon, or drag your layers on it. A link mark will be shown on all linked layers, when you select one of them. To unlink layers, select one of the link layer, and press link icon, or right-click on layer and select unlink layers. Layer thumbnail. You can see a layer thumbnail on every layer, in which you can see content of that layer. To change layer thumbnail sizes, right-click on thumbnail and you get options to change its sizes. Rasterize layer. So firstly, rasterize layer is a layer in which you can edit images. You can use painting tool, filters and effects. But you can't use these in vector layer like text and shape layers. Now how to make layer, a rasterize layer. Just right-click on layer and click on rasterize layer. When you are rasterizing a text layer, then on right-click you will see rasterize type, same in shape layer. If you try to apply any effect or editing tool on vector layer, a pop-up will appear to make your layer a rasterize layer, opacity and fill options. On top of the layer panel you can see opacity and fill options. Now these are similar options for different uses. Both are for controlling transparency of layer, or you can say objects in your layer. In opacity you set the transparency level of whole object including layer style. In fill you can only control the opacity of its inner part, means if you give stroke or outline to the object then fill will not change its opacity. Lock layers. There are 4 types of lock options to control your layers. These locks are useful in complex projects. A layer with lock active has a lock mark on it. Firstly, see lock all. By this you can lock all properties of layer. Layer cannot be moved, you cannot put any effect or use any tool on locked layer. Lock position. It will only lock position of layer, means you can't move your objects present in that layer. Pixel lock, only for rasterize layers. By this lock you can lock pixels, means you can't edit color or shape of object present in that layer. Therefore if pixel lock is active on any layer, then you can't use painting or retouching tools on it. Transparent pixel lock, only for rasterize layers. It will lock transparent area of layer, means if it is active, then you can't work on transparent area of that layer. Let us explain this with an example. Here is a shape with transparent background and I make this layer rasterize, as this lock will only work if layer is rasterized. Now if I apply paintbrush on this layer, it will work like this, it's spread all over the layer where we use brush. But I want that brush effect only where pixels are present, not in transparent area. So I active transparent pixel lock on this layer. After that when I run brush on that layer, it ignore the transparent area, and run only where pixels are present. Color of layer. It is like a marker. Here you can mark your layer with one of the given colors, and can remind for which purpose that layer was marked, or you can mark layers to make categories. You can give a specific color to layer by a right-click on layer, and choose a color from specific list. Filtering layers. Sometime in complex project you want that only one type of layers get visible, like you only want to see text layers, or you want layers only with some specific layer style. On the top of the panel you can select the category to see only that type of layer. On left you can see categories with a search icon, and with that, you have options according to selected category, and on right corner you can see switch, it's for to make filtering on and off. Now here we see basic working of layers. In coming tutorials we will learn more about layers in some depth.